Hello everyone, this is Chad here, and I just wanted to do something a little different. Now, if you know me at all, know anything about me in my life, you know that I am obsessed with James Dean and have been for almost 20 years now. It all started back in high school, I believe. I remember I just felt like very misunderstood and an outcast, and my parents didn't understand me, all that typical teenage angst stuff, and I didn't relate to anyone, I felt like. And one night, I remember it was 3 o'clock in the morning, and I remember turning on the television, and Rebel Without a Cause came on. And I was like, oh, I've heard of this movie. I've heard of James Dean, but I never knew anything about him as a kid. I didn't know who he was. I assumed he was an actor, and he was famous and well-known. So I started watching this film, and I became obsessed. I just remember watching it, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, this guy gets me. This character, Jim Stark, was me. I just related to him so much. And it really didn't make sense because looking back on it now, there was nothing similar between the two of us, but it was just this feeling and this connection I felt with James Dean, and I was like, oh my gosh, I want to be an actor. This is what I want to do with my life. I'm connected to this guy somehow, and that's how everything happened. That's literally one of the main turning points in my life and why I decided to become an actor. So cut to almost 20 years later, I have obviously seen all 3 of his films. I've devoured almost every single book I can get my hands on of him. You name it, I've got it. I've seen it. I've visited his hometown in Indiana 4 times. I'm originally from Florida, so I went to Indiana 4 times. I've been pen pals with this older man who runs one of the museums out there for almost 20 years now. This past year, I even went to a birthday party for him, for James Dean's birthday party that is still being celebrated in Los Angeles at El Coyote Restaurant this year. So that's basically the backstory of my fandom on James Dean. Now let me get to the point. I have always wanted to meet one of his co-stars in one of his movies. Ever since I was a kid, I've always I need to meet one of them. I need to somehow meet someone. And wouldn't you know, one of the actresses that is in one of his best movies, probably my favorite movie, East of Eden, is still around, still acting, still incredible, and her name is Lois Smith. Now, you probably don't know the name Lois Smith, but you definitely know who she is. She was the grandmother in True Blood. She's in Twister as that aunt. I don't know if you remember Twister, but that was like such a big film in '96. I remember her role as a kid, and I was like, wow, she looks so familiar. She's in East of Eden as like a 19 or 20-year-old girl, and I remember seeing her in East of Eden and was like, who is this incredible? She was like beautiful, and it was just, her story was so sad. She's in 5 Easy Pieces. She's in the Nice Guys that just came out like last year. She is still working and she is still around. So I guess my main plea is, does anyone know Lois Smith? Is she around? Can I meet her? I know I sound like a crazy person, but I swear to you, I am normal. I am a normal person living in Los Angeles, California. I'm just a big James Dean fan, and I would love to shake the hand of a woman who shook James Dean's hand. It'll be like connected, 1 degree of separation, and she's awesome. I love her so much. The Nice Guys was one of my favorite movies last year. I think she's incredible. I love the fact that she's still working. I would be so excited to meet her, and I don't know where she is, but if she is anywhere in California and anyone knows who this Lois Smith is or where I can find her or get in contact with her, I would love to meet her. Do I sound crazy? I hope not. I can't believe I'm going to put this online, but that's the story. So this is an open letter to Lois Smith. I would love to meet you. Just contact me via YouTube or however you can get to me. I would love to meet you. I will go anywhere. Thanks for listening.